Hi guys, bringing you a video today on this Mark II helmet, and specifically the result of a discussion I had with some friends on what we believe to be a myth regarding the helmet and its wear and its use during the Second World War, which we believe is something of a reenactorism that's become perpetuated. Very interested to see evidence to the contrary, any anecdotes and things, but something that there's so much evidence against this being the case, which we'll get into in a minute, that we believe that it's a sort of myth that's been perpetuated. And that is the idea of the helmet being worn into combat like this, with the chin strap behind the head. Now, there are photographs of this being done, few and far between. We've trawled through lots of books and photos from the IWM archive and things like this to try and find photographs of this. It seems to have been done out of the line a bit. You're just as like, or on the march, you'd just as like to see the helmet strap hooked up on top of the rim in those instances. However, there's a story that helmets were worn like this, not just on the march, not just at rest, but going into combat to prevent the helmet breaking your neck from a bomb blast, getting caught under the rim. Now, the shape of the helmet might initially make this sound like a plausible thing. Several arguments against this is, one is the chin strap is in fact elasticated. So the chin strap is elasticated here, and there's quite a bit of stretch in that on both sides. Later, of course, for the Mark III helmet, you'd have the fully elasticated chin strap. The idea of this breaking your neck doesn't seem plausible, really. Another issue with wearing this into combat without the chin strap at the point of the chin, or under the chin, is that the Mark II helmet is quite top heavy. A lot of the weight sits high up. Obviously the rim's quite high, it doesn't come down, there's no skirt around the back, so that the actual weight of the helmet without the chin strap, which we'll just demonstrate now if I can tuck it up here, if you're going to go running into combat with it like this, it's going to bounce around, rock around, fall, back, front, it's likely to come off. So that seems an unreasonable thing to do, to wear it without the chin strap to steady it going into combat when you're running around and so forth. Again, very few and far between the photographs showing it worn in that manner, and certainly none that you could immediately imagine being in combat. Now, another point to raise regarding this story is the gas drill. Now, British Second War gas drill, a respirator drill rather, accounts for the wearing of the helmet and requires the chin strap to be worn under the chin, because the first action of putting on your respirator is to do this. Helmet back, respirator on, helmet back on the head. Now obviously, if you don't have the chin strap under your chin, you can't do that. So the wearing of the chin strap would again be a necessity from that point of view. Apparently it was old hands who thought this, but again, the regular army in 1939-40 in France, photographs overwhelmingly show the chin strap being worn under the chin. Here you can see some photographs from 1939, 1940, showing men in France where they're clearly wearing the chin strap at the point of the chin. It doesn't seem to be particularly common to have had the chin strap worn behind the head at this time, which would seem to dispel the myth that old hands, so regulars, were predominantly the ones who chose to do this for fears of bomb blast or shell blast breaking their neck. It just doesn't seem to be borne out in photographs. It's certainly later war you see men on the march with the chin strap hooked up over the back or front rim. Perhaps I've seen, as I say, a couple of photographs of it, men sat drinking tea and so forth with it behind the head, but just worn into combat without the chin strap on, I don't really see that being practical, and nor do the people I've discussed this with. But it is something I heard when I first joined the hobby, and just something I thought we'd bring up for discussion in the comments if people have their own ideas, opinions, anecdotes and so forth they may have heard from veterans. But as far as we can tell, it appears to be something of a myth and not particularly practical in terms of actual use. So yeah, I just thought that would be an interesting topic for a video today, trying to dispel myths, or what we perceive to be myths, about the hobby, in the hobby, and hope they don't, try and prevent them from being promulgated to the public and so forth. But again, a discussion would be interesting if people have evidence regarding this. But there we go. So just a reenacting tip for today, or a point of discussion, as I say. If you like this sort of video and like looking at British and Commonwealth kit, throughout the 20th century, pretty much. Don't go much further back into the 19th century at the moment. Then please consider subscribing if you like my content. And if you're newly subscribing or already subscribed, make sure you've hit the little notification button, the bell, so that you get updates on future videos. If you enjoy sort of this sort of thing, I also have a Facebook page and an Instagram where I post photographs and some previews of videos and things as well, which may be of interest, so check those out. There's a link in the description. And as I always say, until next time, bye for now.